Hi, welcome to JSR 17 for the spring semester. This is your online orientation. My name is Whitney and I am the program coordinator, and I will be going over the necessary steps in order for you to make your perfect submissions and for all of your articles. Just a note for the returning editors and the returning reporters, please do pay attention because there are a few changes from your previous semesters. So let us begin. The first thing I want to start off with today is your submissions. Submissions and all correspondence for the JSR program is done through Gmail and Google Docs. There are a couple things for the editors to pay attention to for the Google Drive, but we will also be using Google Calendar as well. Please make sure that you guys are all using a Gmail account. If you don't have one, please make one, notify the program coordinator, which is me, and of your newly made Gmail account, and we will go ahead and change everything we need to do within our system. If your email account that is not a Gmail still has access to Google and Google Docs and all those other things, there's no need to create a Gmail account and just proceed as necessary. The first thing I wanted to go over is your 3 submissions that you do within your cycles. You have your pitches, your first drafts, and your final drafts. Those are everything that you will be submitting to us besides some of your inquiries and other things like that. Pitches. When you submit your pitch, they should be in the form of an email. They don't need to be a Google Doc, and you just need to send an email to jsrpitches@gmail.com. With this, I want you to make a particular subject line, and it needs to include a few things. Your subject line will read, in brackets, a 17, which is your actual semester number, then a dash, and then your cycle number. Close your bracket. The next bracket you will open will let us know what group that you are a part of, whether it's a blue group, red group, green group, or international group. There are those 4 groups. And then you close that bracket and you open up and you just write pitch. In your email, your subject line should read 17-cycle number, your group color, and then your pitch. Then you just want to write out your email. It would say, for this cycle, I would like to write about, and let us know 3 things. The first thing we want to know is your topic, what you plan on writing about. The second thing we want to know is your angle, what angle you are approaching your topic from, and I will go into details with this in the next segment. 3, the last thing we want to know is who you plan on interviewing for this article. Your interviewees can change, and at all times it does not have to be final, but do let us know who you plan on interviewing. Your pitches are not supposed to be shared Google Docs. They just need to be an email. So make sure that you just send a simple email. What does need to be sent to us via Google Doc as a shared Google document will be your first drafts and your final drafts. This is very, very important that you know who to share your documents with. So when sharing your documents with us, please ensure that they are shared with the following people. Your first drafts will be shared with us at the program coordinators at jstudentboard@gmail.com, and then your student editor's email. If you are seeing this video, you should have already received an email based on who your student editor is and what group you are in. The final drafts, however, are only shared with us at jstudentboard@gmail.com. You do not need to be sharing your documents with your student editors, only your final drafts. Don't forget, your first drafts go to us and your student editor. Your final drafts are only shared with us at jstudentboard@gmail.com. Please make sure that you share in this manner. Otherwise, we will not be able to figure out what you have turned in, and you will not receive credit for your article submission. Editors, just a note, if your reporter has shared their drafts with you and not with JStudent Board, please share. That way we can also keep track of all submissions. The important part with this that you need to remember is that everything needs to be submitted to us. If they are not submitted, you will not receive credit. If you don't receive credit, As soon as we hit about 3 or 4 missed article submissions, you will just be dropped from the program. You have paid a tuition to be part of this program, so please ensure that you are submitting all of your work and that we are getting your materials. Deadlines. These are very, very important to keep up with, mainly because there is a publication component to this JSR program. So all deadlines are hard deadlines, meaning if you are late, you are losing your eligibility for publication for that cycle. We are working in 3-week cycles. Also, if you are late, your articles may not get edited in time to revise for the final draft. If you do need an extension, please get one approved by me or your chief editor or your student editor much in advance. The pitches. Your pitches will be due on Mondays of the week that you write your articles. Your first drafts are due Saturdays after your pitch. You will receive editing notes by the following Monday by midnight. Final drafts are due Thursdays after your first draft. This is important to remember, and a calendar should have been shared with you. So, Blue Group is starting the 17th semester, and we start Monday, January 2nd, which is when a pitch is due. That week, you would write your article, and by Saturday at midnight, you will be turning in and submitting your first draft. Your student editor will look over and put edits on your submission by that Monday evening. Then, your final drafts are due that following Thursday. If you have not received a pitch approval, do not hesitate. Just go ahead and write your article. If we have any issues with your pitch submission, we will let you know in time. If you have not received any editing notes or notes by the Monday after your first draft, please ensure you let someone know. Please send us an email. However, do not stop making your own edits. If there are no notes, edit your own and submit a final draft by the deadline. You will be given a calendar, and like I mentioned earlier, it should have already been shared with you, that will also tell you when your deadlines are. Please refer to that calendar at all times before anything else. The calendar will be updated as necessary, so please make sure you take a look at the calendar often. Do not assume that the calendar will always stay the same. For your convenience, we have also allowed access to the calendar on our instruction manual website, which can be found at jstudentreporter.wixsite.com/instruction manual. The formatting for your articles is also something very important. Your word count for your articles should not be more than 500 words, but not less than 300 words. So it's no longer or shorter than 300 to 500 words. The images, all of your images have to be attached to your Google Doc. They have to have a caption and a photo credit detailing the source of the graphic. This is also even if you took the photo yourself. Your source credit will be author, comma, your first and last name. When formatting your caption and photo credit, please ensure that you follow this particular format. When you put your caption, label it caption, and then give us your image caption. And then below that, you would want to include your source in brackets and give us your image source. The brackets are very, very important. Now, all of your Google documents that are being submitted by sharing should also follow a particular format. If you open a Google Doc, you will see that there is an aspect where you can add a title. It starts off as untitled document when you start a new Google document. Those titles will be formatted in a particular manner so we can keep track of all of your submissions. You will always include your cycle number after the 17, which is 17-cycle number. Just as you titled your pitches, you will also include what group color, whether it's blue, red, green, or international, you are a part of. Then you will let us know in that title what it is that you are submitting to us, whether it is a first draft or whether it is your final draft, and then you include your headline. There is a manual uploaded onto the website as well that will show you a very good example with screenshot images of what this is supposed to look like. As an example, if I were the one who was to submit an article, my headline or my title of my document should read, for example, 17-1 in brackets, blue if I was part of the blue group in brackets, first draft, which is what I am going to be submitting, and then the headline, which if this was an article, it would be JSR spring semester has begun. The document header. This is the top left corner of your document before you begin to write your article. This is the actual document itself. It is not part of the title, but you need to include the following items at the top of your document. First, we need your name and what grade that you are in. We also need the name of your student editor, what group you are a part of, what cycle you are a part of, and what it is you're submitting, and the due date. As mentioned before, there is an example on the website as well, and a manual should have been emailed to you that gives you a detailed example of this. So your document header will always include your name, your grade, the name of your student editor. If you are a student editor, just write your name twice. Indicate that you are 17 and a cycle number, whether you are part of the red, blue, green, or international group, and indicate what the material you are submitting actually is, and then indicate the due date. There is an example photo for you on the website and the manual that has been emailed to you. The article itself, this is the main part of the article. Make sure that when you are submitting the articles that you follow this particular format. The header should already be there, as I just mentioned. Start the next line with your headline. Again, just write out your headline. Then press enter and begin writing your article. Your article does not need to be double-spaced. Actually, it is preferred if your article was single-spaced. And then at the end of your article, please include your byline. Your byline is your name, your grade, enter, and then your high school. For example, it would read Whitney, your grade, which am not in a particular grade, but let's say I was a senior, it would be grade 12, and then your high school, which is, as an example, JSR High School. Then you would want to include your image caption, your image source, and then finally your image at the end. Please refer to your manual for other caption and source formatting as mentioned before. Then you just need to share the document with those it needs to be shared with, whether it's JStudent Board or your student editor or both. There is a photo on your manual that has been emailed to you that should also explain what it needs to look like. Once your pitch has been approved, please write your first draft. Please share your first draft, then share your final draft. When submitting a final draft, however, please make sure that you are sharing the document one more time with the title, header, and due date changed on the document you are submitting. That way we can see that this is a new document and not the old one. If you have any questions or concerns throughout the semester, whether it's with submissions, formatting, articles, missing deadlines, extra circumstances, we have a particular format when you email us with correspondence. Many more emails than we can count come in through our inbox every day. In order to ensure that your email is read, please make sure and send your emails with this particular subject line. It needs to start with JSR, let us know that it is an inquiry, and let us know what group that you are a part of. This way, we know that it is a student inquiry and we will respond accordingly. If you have any other questions about the manual or any other orientation materials, please do contact us through jstudentboard@gmail.com. Otherwise, good luck and happy writing.